Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience Podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what is my time? My time is a set of experiences that have happened over my lifetime that I hope will be of value to you. So a couple of months ago, I received a phone call from a friend of mine. I've known this gentleman since 2011. And one of the things that he called to tell me was that he had been talking to his wife the night before, and they had decided that he needed to call me that day, and he needed to thank me from the bottom of his heart. And I asked him, I said, so why are you thanking me? He said, well, you probably don't remember this, but in 2011, when you came over to our television station, and we interviewed you live on, one of our anchors interviewed you live on the air, he asked you, best advice for buyers, best advice for sellers. And you said best advice for sellers was, if you can buy now. And he said, and I walked you, he said, after that interview, I walked you out of the station. And he said, I asked you, because I told you that my wife and I were pre-approved to buy a property. And I asked you if we should buy a house. And I said to him, I said, I would if I could, if you can, yes, you should. He said, I heard you say that, but I just wanted to make sure that's what you're recommending. And I said, yeah, I really am. I'm recommending that if you can buy now. And I said, as I told Dan on the air, I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. And he said, that's why I need to thank you, because everybody back then in 2011, for those of you that remember, in 2011, a lot of people were losing their houses to foreclosure. They were losing their houses to short sale. I mean, it was a rough time. A lot of people were having a very, very tough time. The market, as they say, was pretty depressed. And prices were going down. It was actually a time when prices were shrinking and that kind of thing. And everybody's advice was don't buy. If you told somebody, like your family or your friends, they told their family, their friends, that kind of thing, and they all laughed at them and told them, don't do that. Don't buy right now. Wait until the market goes down some more. Wait until things correct. Wait for this, wait for that, okay? Here's the thing. They asked me when we would know when the market has actually bottomed out. And the answer is we won't know for 6 months after. So we won't know that the market's bottomed out until 6 months after it's actually bottomed out. That's the way the data works. That's the way all of this works. And so it's important to know that if you have the ability to buy, buying is not a bad idea, especially now. Right now, as I speak to you in August of 2023, interest rates are at their highest level in years, highest level in a very, very long time. And there are a lot of people that are second guessing whether they should buy or not. The people who are in fact buying are finding that they're actually able to negotiate seller credits, which wasn't even possible a few months ago. And when interest rates were much, much lower. They're able to negotiate sales price, which wasn't even a possibility a few months ago or a couple of years ago when interest rates were smaller. Here's the thing, when interest rates are lower, everybody's in. When everybody's in, you might not necessarily want to be a buyer at that point. Here's the thing, Warren Buffett always says, if everybody else is being greedy, you want to be conservative. When everybody else is being conservative, you want to be greedy. That's his investment philosophy that he's used for years and years and years, many, many decades now. And he is, as you know, one of the richest people on the planet. He also said famously that he doesn't know what the American people are going to do, but he knows they're all going to do it at the same time and in the same direction. What does that sound like? Like maybe being a contrarian might be a good idea. So this friend of mine said to me, he said, look, my wife works for a company here in San Diego, and she was just told not too long ago that she'll never go, for her entire rest of her career with this company, she will not work at home or work at the office anymore. She'll be working at home for the rest of her career. And so, Mike, we were sitting last night talking about what we had made on our first house, $180,000, what we made on our second house, which was even more. And that money combined, because of the advice you gave us and because we followed it, that money we have now is providing an opportunity for us, or a ticket for us, to be able to buy our dream home. And we're able to buy a dream home with a dream dedicated office for her so that she can work from home for the rest of her career. And we just can't thank you enough from the bottom of our heart. And here's the thing. I'm perfectly happy to help. If I can help you, please reach out. If you have questions, please reach out. I tell my clients all the time, there are no questions you cannot ask. And there are no questions you cannot ask any number of times that you need to. Sometimes when I answer questions, I can be pretty articulate, but sometimes when I answer questions, I don't always answer them the way that you need me to answer them, right? So just ask again. There are no questions that you cannot ask. This is a safe environment. There is no judgment here. All I want to do is make sure that you get the information that you need. That's why we're writing the book starting in January of 2024 on homeownership, and be looking out for it, because I'll be talking to you about it in future podcasts or future episodes too. We're also, by the way, going to be interviewing on our podcast the ghostwriter, the gentleman that's going to be my ghostwriter for the books. So going to be a really cool thing. So make sure you stay tuned for that. By the way, make sure you subscribe so you don't ever miss an episode. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast and tell a friend. Tell the people, if you like what we're doing, you like our program, tell a friend, tell people about it. I'm going to tell you a story coming up in another mic time about a gentleman who was called by his friend, and I ended up meeting him because of it. It's a really cool story. So tell a friend and then rate us. Wherever it is that you get your podcast, please make sure that you give us a rating so that we can reach and connect with quality people just like you, because that's exactly what we're looking to do. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was informational and informative and enlightening. This is another episode of the Mike Litton Experience podcast, and this was Mike Time. I'll see you on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.